There are stories whispered in windswept canyons, etched into stone, and passed from elder to elder long before a single word was written on the paper. Tales of shapeshifters and soul-eaters, of vanished civilizations, haunted creatures, and visitors from the stars. These aren't the legends you find in schoolbooks. These are the ones that survive in the shadows, told in hushed tones, believed by many, dismissed by others, but never truly forgotten. Tonight, we're going to explore 10 of the strangest, most chilling myths and mysteries drawn from Native American oral traditions. Some are ancient, some are still unfolding, and all of them blur the line between the world we know and the one just beyond it. This is History Footnotes and Fiascos, where we explore the forgotten, the bizarre, and the chilling echoes of the past. If stories like these leave you thinking or leave you unsettled, liking, subscribing, or even sharing your thoughts in the comments really helps this channel grow and keeps us digging up more tales that deserve to be heard. Let's begin. At number 10, the Piasa Bird, the devourer of men. Long before European settlers reached the American Midwest, the Illini people feared a creature that lived near the cliffs of the Mississippi River. A monster so terrifying they painted it on the rock face as both a warning and remembrance. The Piasa bird was no ordinary animal. It had the body of a lion, the wings of a bird, the tail of a serpent, and a face that looked almost human. It was said to swoop down silently and carry off warriors never to be seen again. When Father Jacques Marquette explored the region in 1673, he claimed to see a massive image painted high above the river, red, black, green, and eerie. A giant beast with claws and wings, staring down at all who passed below. The painting disappeared centuries ago. No one knows exactly how or when, but the legend of the Piasa bird remains, a creature that fed on humans and vanished into history just as mysteriously as it appeared. At number 9, the Nemerigar, tiny killers of the mountains. In the Wind River Range of Wyoming, the Shoshone people told of a race of little people, vicious, fast, and deadly. They weren't the mischievous trickster types found in European fairy tales. The Nemerigar were said to shoot poison-tipped arrows, ambush travelers, and vanish into the rocks before anyone could react. In 1932, 2 prospectors blasting open a cave stumbled upon a strange discovery. A mummified figure, no more than 14 inches tall. Its body was perfectly preserved, with sharp teeth, a collapsed skull, and what looked like bone damage consistent with a blow to the head. Scientists couldn't agree on what it was: hoax, premature baby, or something else entirely. The remains disappeared for decades, only to resurface briefly before vanishing once again. To the Shoshone, it was never a mystery. The Nemerigar had always been real, and those who doubted them simply hadn't gone far enough into the mountains yet. At number 8, the Baycock, the soul-hunting skeleton. In the cold forests of the Great Lakes, the Ojibwe people tell of a spirit that hunts only the strongest and bravest of warriors. It's called the Baycock, a skeletal figure, gaunt and hollow-eyed, draped in rotting skin, and silent as death. The Baycock floats just above the ground, moving without sound. Its weapon of choice? Invisible arrows that strike with paralyzing force. Victims often never see their attacker. One moment they're alone in the woods, the next they feel a chill, a sharp pain, and then nothing. But what makes the Baycock truly terrifying is what comes next. It doesn't just kill, it feasts. According to legend, it opens the chest of its paralyzed victims and eats their liver, all while they remain conscious but unable to scream. To be hunted by the Baycock isn't just to die, it's to be consumed, body and soul, by something no one can see until it's far too late. At number 7, the Keelot, the hairless dog that brings death. In the icy north, where the land itself feels haunted, the Inuit speak of a creature that's easy to miss at first. It looks like a hairless dog, silent, black and sleek, but it leaves no tracks, and it always appears when someone is about to die. The Keelot is said to follow travelers in the snow just at the edge of visibility. If you look directly at it, it vanishes. If you ignore it, it draws closer. The closer it gets, the more your body grows weak, the more your thoughts turn dark. Some say the Kilot is the spirit of a wronged soul, cursed to stalk the living. Others say it's something far older, an omen in the form of a beast. And if it reaches your door, the stories say you won't wake up. At number 6, the Uktana, the Cherokee horned serpent. Deep in the forests and rivers of the southeast, the Cherokee feared a creature too dangerous to even speak of without ceremony, the Uktana. Described as a serpent the size of a tree trunk, the Uktana had horns like a stag, a crest of feathers, and a blazing jewel in its forehead that pulsed with power. That jewel was said to grant visions, luck, or even immortality, but to look directly at it was to invite madness. Hunters who sought it were rarely seen again, and if they returned, they often came back wrong. The Uktana was said to guard sacred places, hidden entrances to other worlds, and ancient secrets. And though it may seem like myth, some Cherokee elders say the Uktana still exists, just not always in the form we expect. Some say it lives underground near sacred caves, some say it flies coiling through the sky at dusk, but all agree it should never be pursued. Its power is not meant for the living. At number 5, the ghost canoes of the Great Lakes. When the fog drifts low over the Great Lakes and the wind dies down to silence, sailors and fishermen have reported something impossible. Canoes gliding soundlessly across the water even when no one is there to row them. These sightings go back generations. In Anishinaabe lore, these are spirit canoes, vessels for the dead, ferrying souls from one world to the next. Witnesses describe them as glowing faintly, just enough to be seen against the mist. They leave no wake. They vanish if approached. The strangest reports come not from long ago, but from recent times. Modern fishermen have claimed to see them moments before storms roll in, or before someone in their crew falls ill, or worse. One account from 1975 described a canoe spotted in open water, until it passed directly through another boat, leaving nothing behind but a cold wind and soaked footprints on the deck. There were no passengers, only silence. Some say the ghost canoes appear before tragedy. Others believe they're messengers, warning those who still have time to turn back. At number 4, the Chindi, the evil spirit left behind. In Navajo tradition, death is not the end. Sometimes it leaves something behind. The Chindi is not a ghost, but the essence of all the negative energy a person carried in life: anger, jealousy, resentment. When someone dies, if the proper rites aren't performed, or if death is sudden and violent, the Chindi may linger and attach itself to the living. Those who come into contact with it report a sudden string of bad luck, unexplained illness, and even hallucinations. Some say it can curse a home, or live within an object once touched by the dead. For that reason, many Navajo people avoid speaking the names of the deceased, and sometimes even abandon homes where death occurred. The Chindi is not seen, but it is felt, in the sickness that has no cause, in the shadow that won't go away, in the feeling that something is following you, even when you know you're alone. It's not a haunting, it's something deeper, a spiritual contamination, and one that may outlast generations. At number 3, the legend of the Star People. Across North America, in the oral traditions of the Lakota, Hopi, Zuni, and other tribes, there are stories of visitors who came from the sky, not spirits, not gods, but beings from the stars. They're often called the Star People, described as tall, glowing, peaceful, and otherworldly. According to legend, they descended in circular crafts, taught sacred knowledge, and sometimes even took people with them, returning them days or years later changed. Petroglyphs in the American Southwest depict strange humanoid figures with halos, antennae, or helmets, long before any modern concept of aliens existed. Some show what appear to be saucer-like objects in the sky. These stories don't describe invasions or abductions. Instead, they speak of partnership, of learning, and of warnings. One Hopi legend tells of beings who came to save the people from a world-ending flood, leading them into the earth to safety. Are these stories symbolic? Or are they ancient memories of something literal, something we've forgotten how to see? The Star People never claimed the land. They came, taught and left, but they promised to return. At number 2, the disappearance of the Anasazi. High atop mesas and deep within canyon walls, the cliff dwellings of the ancient Anasazi still stand, abandoned, intact and silent. Once a thriving civilization in the American Southwest, the Anasazi left behind no written language, no clear explanation, and no graves. Archaeologists offer logical theories: drought, resource depletion, or conflict. But those who live near these sites, descendants of the Pueblo peoples, tell a different story. They speak of a darkness that crept through the land, of beings that emerged from the night, whispering promises and stealing people one by one. Some say the Anasazi fled underground, others say they were taken. The Hopi tell of kivas, sacred ceremonial chambers, as not just spiritual places, but portals. Some believe the Anasazi opened a doorway to another world, and some never came back. Lights in the sky, petroglyphs of spiral portals, sudden vanishing of entire communities as if they'd left in a hurry. Whatever happened, it wasn't gradual, it was complete. The dwellings remain, but the people and the truth are gone. And at number 1, to round out our list, the Skinwalker, shapeshifter of shadow. Among the Navajo, there is one word that is rarely spoken aloud: Yi Nald Lushii. Translated roughly as with it, he goes on all fours. It refers to a skinwalker, a person who has chosen to abandon their humanity in exchange for power. And the power they gain is transformation. Skinwalkers are said to take the form of animals: wolves, coyotes, owls, but they're not just creatures, they're mimics, predators. Witches who wear the skin of beasts and walk unnoticed among us. Some say they can speak in your loved one's voice. Others say they can slip into dreams and drive people mad. Encounters aren't rare, they're just rarely shared. Those who claim to have seen one report eyes glowing in headlights, creatures standing upright in the road, or something scratching at their windows in the middle of the night, knowing their name. Even today, Navajo reservations avoid talking openly about skinwalkers. Homes are built with protective symbols. Certain places are never visited after dark. Because belief in skinwalkers isn't just superstition, it's fear born of experience. Some of these stories are told as warnings, others as memories. But all of them point to one truth: not every mystery has been buried. Some are just beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to be rediscovered. You've been watching History Footnotes and Fiascos, where we explore the chilling, the curious, and the nearly forgotten corners of the past. If this countdown gave you chills, or sparked your curiosity, leaving a like or dropping a comment really helps the channel out. Let us know if you would like us to explore one of these Native American legends, myths or lore in greater detail, or maybe you have one of your own that you would like to share. If you haven't already, subscribing and tapping the notification bell is a simple way to make sure you don't miss what's coming next. Because these stories, they're just the beginning. Until next time, stay curious.